What's going on, guys? Boy, do I have a particularly strange video for you today. Magic the Gathering had kind of semi-small expansions. One of them, and the one we're going to talk about today, was called Astral. It has 12 cards. They're all extremely strange. They all have like random effects, actually random effects. And the art on them, I actually kind of like a lot of it. There's one in particular I'm a really big fan of. But enough goofing off, man. Let's just dive into it. My friend showed me Pandora's box when he was going through Scryfall, and we were both completely lost on if this was even a real card, what the set symbol was, so I did a little bit of research. Let me read the card. Pandora's Box is a 5-mana artifact with the activated ability of 3, tap, choose a random summon card from all players' decks. For each player, flip a coin. If the flip ends on heads, put the token creature into play and treat it as though it's an exact, I'm going to assume the card says copy after that. Some of the card text has been cut off, and again, look at this art. It is so... it doesn't look real. The text is all funny looking. The format is strange. It's weird. And look at that set symbol. Just like a shooting star you'd see on old foils, or old Judge promos even. The next one I'm going to talk about is Oswan Jaguar, and I really like the art of this one actually. It's weird. It looks all Aztecian or something. It's 1 generic and 2 green mana, summon Jaguar. When Oswan Jaguar comes into play, choose a random creature type from those in target opponent's deck. You may pay 2 green and tap it, bury target creature of the chosen type. Not only does green not usually get single target removal on a creature, unless it's flying in a spider, usually. I mean, this is just so strange. You don't get to choose the creature type when this thing enters the battlefield. You just kind of hope, I guess, if I'm reading this card properly. What a strange card. One of the most, I guess, powerful, if you could call it that, from this subset of Magic the Gathering cards is a Call from the Grave. 2 generic and 1 black mana, sorcery. Put a random creature from a random graveyard into play under your control. Call from the Grave deals damage to you, an amount of damage equal to that creature's casting cost. Look at the art on this thing. Freaking weird. And then that effect. Honestly, not that bad of an effect, if we're being completely honest here. It's a random card, sure. There are definitely ways to manipulate your opponent's graveyard to get the one that you want. Playing a mill deck or something, or you got Scoos on the battlefield, just eat up the ones you don't want, and boom bam, 3 mana, get something from your opponent's graveyard. Whether or not that's effective, you know, I still think this is fine given this strange nature of this set. The next one is a land from this set. Once again, very strange art. When it comes into play, choose a random color. You may tap this land, add to your mana pool 1 mana of the color last chosen, then choose a random color. So this is almost never going to tap for the one that you want. You have to roll a dice or a 5-sided dice or something, or come up with some way for this to be random. And then it taps for that mana. So a lot of the time, this is going to do nothing for you if you're playing like a 3-color deck. Oh, well, I guess in that case, it might do something. But if you're mono, just stay away from this. Like, what is this? Gem Bazaar. All the cards in this set are all random. Even the land. Tapping for random mana. Now, the most random card in this set, in my opinion, is Fairy Dragon. 2 generic and 2 green. Summon Dragon. A green dragon. Pretty rare. It's a 1/3 even. I actually really like the art on this one. It has flying, and it has an activated ability of 1 generic and 2 green mana. Play a random effect. What does that mean? I don't know. Just play a random effect. Here's some amazing art. I like it, at least. I like the dark lines on it. Goblin Polka Band. 2 red mana for a 1/1 goblin summon. It has an activated ability of 2 and tap. Pay 1 red mana for each target. Tap any number of random target creatures. Goblins tapped in this way do not untap during the controller's untap phase. Cause you know, why not? I like it though. It's like you kind of like make the other goblins start joining the band, or they're amused by the music and they don't want to attack anymore. They just want to sit and enjoy the music is kind of how I took the flavor of that card. Orcish Catapult is a instant with X and 2 red. Randomly distribute X -0, -1 counters among a random number of random creatures. It would probably be an okay board wipe in red, but I mean, I don't know. It's random, so probably not. Whimsy is a blue sorcerer with X and 2 blue. Play X random fast effects. I'm gonna assume this means instants, but I don't know where the instants would come from because play X random, let's assume instants. Where would the random come from? Like, is it from your hand, your opponent's hands, or their graveyards, your graveyards? Where would this effect come from? I really like the art though. It's actually really, really good. There are a couple of really long text boxes, so I'm gonna have the text on the side, I guess. I'm so sorry. It's the weird format of these cards here, man. One of them being Necropolis of Azar, which is 2 generic and 2 black for an enchantment. Whenever a non-black creature is put into any graveyard from play, put a husk counter on Necropolis of Azar. Then you may pay 5 generic to remove a husk counter, Necropolis of Azar, and then put a Spawn of Azar token into play. Treat this token as a black creature with a random power and toughness, each no less than 1, no greater than 3, that has Swamp Walk. What the hell is that? I mean, I know what Swamp Walk is, but what in the world is this effect? You get a random 1/1, a 2/3, a 3/3, some odd mixture of 1 to 3, but no greater than 1, a 3/3. Why? Why would they do that? Rainbow Knights is another, like, this one is one of the most confusing in my opinion. Rainbow Knights is 2 white mana for a summon Knights. When Rainbow Knights comes into play, it gains protection from a random color permanently. That's actually not the worst, but it is random, so it kind of sucks. It has an activated ability of 1. It gains first strike until end of turn. Hey, that's not that bad. However, it has another activated ability on the bottom of the card that's cut off there, which says the activated ability costs 2 white mana. It gets +0/+0, +1/+0, +2/0 until end of turn, chosen at random. You can activate this ability multiple times, of course, to get the effect that you want, and it becomes a good blocker if you get the +2/+0. And then you have 3 mana for a first strike 4/1, I guess. I'm really stretching here, guys. I promise I'm trying to make this seem great. I can't find the text box for these last 2 cards, so I'm just going to put them up together and we can talk about them like that. Prismatic Dragon is a 2 generic and 2 white, 2/3 summon dragon with some of the most colorful and wild art I've ever seen. It is flying, of course. During your upkeep, Prismatic Dragon becomes a random color permanently. And I'm guessing the activated ability reads 2 generic, Prismatic Dragon becomes the color of your choice until end of turn, or something like that, you know. I can't find the text box anywhere. If you know what it is, leave a comment and I'll heart it so it stays up on top or something. And the other one that I can't find the rest of the text for is Power Struggle. It's 2 generic and 3 blue mana. For an enchantment, during each player's upkeep, that player exchanges control of random target artifact, creature, or land he or she controls for control of random target permanent of the same, I'm guessing, type. That one is actually fairly playable. I can see some Chaos decks, you know, in Commander wanting to play that. But now that we're at the end of these cards, I want to say, I should have said this earlier, I guess, but none of these cards are legal. They were from a Micro Prose game. And if you don't know who Micro Prose was, they were I think they're still around actually, but they make like military kind of vehicle games. Think, what is it, XCOM, and I believe they started Civilization in the XCOM series. That's basically what they did. And a long time ago, they worked with Magic the Gathering to create a little game, I guess. And these were some of the cards in the game. However, there's a little like subtext to that too. You know, the Oswan Jaguar. It was made into a 6x9 card, which means that if you're putting together an oversized deck, you can play it in that for all of you people playing oversized cards. Yeah, I really don't know what to say about this, guys. I'm a pretty big fan of Necropolis of Azar, even if it's kind of weird. I really like the art, and the effect isn't the worst, I guess. Call from the Grave was pretty good, and if Oswan Jaguar was playable, it would be a pretty fine card too, I guess. Same with Power Struggle. These weren't the worst cards ever, even all the effects were random. A little bit of templating. I'd like it if they came back to these, you know, and change it just a tad in the playable direction. But if you wanted, you could ask your playgroup if you could print these cards out or something, you know, and play them in whatever deck that you wanted. Tell me how that goes if you do, and tell me what cards you used. But I think I'm gonna call it there, guys. This was a pretty cool video. I'm gonna do my best to try to find more random, strange sets in Magic. I'm not sure how many more even exist out there, you know. But if you know any and maybe you want to see a video on it, tell me down below and I will gladly do some research for you. That's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Do the YouTube things. Save me from the corporate overlords that I work for, and hit that subscribe button. Have a good one, guys, and see you soon, hopefully. For anyone who decides to stay past the main chunk of the video that's just talking about the cards, because, you know, I figure most people are just here to see the cards, here's a little bonus after credits sequence for you. I'm feeling good today. The game that these cards came from was called Chandelar, and it's freaking ancient. It's from the age of DOS computer games, well before even I was born. You know, I'm not very old, but Jesus, I didn't think it was this old. It seems to be like sort of a dungeon crawler kind of. You get some quests, you go battle other NPCs for magic cards or something like that. I watched a little bit of game footage, and I'll try to put it here at the end of the video for you guys so you can get your own little like view of what the hell this is. It's really strange. It's pretty cool though. I have to admit, it's not, I don't know if I would personally play it, but it is really cool to kind of see like what this is probably the first computer game for Magic the Gathering, if I had to guess, you know what I mean. Tell me what you think about this. I think it's pretty cool. Like I said, have a good one, guys. Again, 2 good ones for anyone who made it this far in the video. You must really like the content. If you did, you know, hey, thanks for watching, man.